Alright, can we get your name?
Kien Ybanez.
Is that your full name?
Yes. Funny thing, Asians don't have middle names. It's like a bad luck thing.
Okay. And where are you from?
I'm originally from the Philippines, but I live in Spencer, Iowa.
Right. And what kind of first got you started into getting interested in film?
As a child, I watched Ninja Turtles, and there was a moment where the tape wore out for like a good 20 minutes, so I had to impersonate the, every little thing. But the original film that got me into like wondering how film was made was Spider-Man 2 when I was in 6th grade. We had those little sleepover parties, and it was like, wow. He's like, I could like see his web shooters, just like we were looking in his eyes, and I was like, so I wonder if they put cameras in your eyes. You know, it was like thwap, thwap, thwap. That sounds like an awkward sound. That was my first experience, but the one that made me really serious about taking film seriously is the film The Evil Dead. It was one of the first rated R movies I ever purchased. I give a lot of respect for the Raimi brothers because of the fact that they were able to take a low budget and use like Play-Doh for their special effects for like bleh, and the respect that as horror aficionados they were doing things that no other person ever did in cinematography.
Okay. And is there a certain genre that you like to write in, or?
I'm free roam. Most of the time I'm free roam. It's whatever hits me first. Because one day I could be in like, hey, I want to write a horror story. And the other days I want to like switch it up a little. So at the moment, in script-wise, I feel over 20 scripts. 3 of them are complete. Most of them are bits and piece finished because I don't want to keep myself in one genre.
Now, for films that you enjoy, do you more go towards like the independent type of stuff, or are you a big budget film kind of guy?
It just depends on the director and actors. I do watch a lot of indie films, but it's because of like the Duplass brothers, the Coen brothers. I'm also a big Joss Whedon fan as well. Like their films to me are the kind of films that I want to make. Not the genre-wise, but like the way that you can feel their emotions emitted from it. I'm not a big M. Night Shyamalan fan, not a big Michael Bay fan, but I can deal with Tarantino.
So, you're very into directing, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously right now you're doing your own writing. Is there ever a point where you would want to consider hiring other writers, or would you just want to do all the writing yourself?
There's a point where I do want to hire some writers, either do punch up or have writers ask me to direct their scripts, because I don't want it to just be all about me. Like if I find someone who I feel that is a good writer, I'd be like, do you want to collaborate? I won't try to ruin anything that you have. I mean, I'd ask you, maybe we tweak it up a little bit, but I think that I want to try to stay mainly focused in directing. The writing could be on the back burner, because writing, for me at least, writing takes a long time, because I'm so indecisive. When I start writing something, I have to like leave it alone, because I know it's probably bad, but pick it up like a week later and reread it and keep working on it like that.
So is there any projects in particular you're working on right now that you're kind of excited about?
I'm really excited about the web series Going Nowhere, obviously, because we're doing the first interview of part 1 for a bunch of other artists. And I'm working on 12 O'Clock Coffee. That is that's going to be my baby, my first short film. I'm writing, producing. I mean, I got the actors. I'm finishing up the script, and all I really need to do now is wait till the weather gets warm, and I'll be 100% ready.
So, obviously, everything you're doing right now is very low budget, out of pocket type stuff. Is there ever a point where you would hope you could do a big budget film, or would you just not be interested in doing that?
It just all depends. Like, I would do a big budget, but I would like to have free roam of what I do. Like, I want to have some like producers like saying I don't think you should do that. Have people's input, but if anything, I'd like to have the roam like the producers who created the film Sinister, Insidious, and all them. The producers gave them free roam for their ideas and creativity. Another thing is that I could do a big budget, but I don't want to be limited to like a series. Like I could never do like Transformers or Marvel or X-Men or Batman because I feel like it would be all on me and I don't want to have that responsibility of making something that wouldn't have other people like it if that it's big and mainstream. I can understand if it's my own indie film. I could care less what other people say because I made it. It's for me. It's how I feel. If I was to give that franchise, I would be afraid because, you know, everyone has different views and people are either going to shoot it down or love it. And I can't really take the pressure at the moment.
So, one of the main complaints with the film industry today, obviously, is the lack of originality. A lot of remakes of movies lately, a lot of books being turned into movies, you know, revamping of series, things like that. Do you ever be worried about falling into that trap of losing originality or anything like that?
Originality is dead. Creativity is alive. There's nothing original about anything that we have, even from the 80s. Horror movies, you change the mask on them. Superhero movies, it's a different superpower. Found footage, whether or not, you know, it's a genre thing. Romantic comedies, they just have their own little twists and quirks about each movie that has it. Like, you can replace John Rambo with John McClane, 2 action stars. That's the main premises. You can replace the plot to Avengers to the plot with Transformers. This intergalactic menace, people working together to stop it. You could I feel like you could even replace James Bond with the new Batman. They're both very tech savvy. They're discreet about anything they do. So, to me, there's nothing really original I could bring out there. What I can do is put my feelings towards something that's already there. How I view it.
So, with the lack of things being original, since they're, as you said, originality is dead, creativity is alive. I mean, do you feel any sort of disappointment or anything that you can't be original, or?
I wouldn't say disappointment. I mean, like, I think it would be cool to, like, be the person to be known as, like, hey, I brought something that no one ever did. Yeah, that'd be awesome. But I'm totally satisfied with the guy who knows what he wants. I mean, even though the filmmaking he does isn't original, he has his own like quirks to it, and he has his feelings flowing from the film, and the viewers can feel where he's coming from.
So, is there any type of film that you're working in right now, a genre that you're kind of really excited about, or a genre you would want to work in that would get you excited?
I'm hoping like once I get the short films I want done, I can try to do either a horror oriented or a found footage. I understand it's not just because it's cheap, it's because I feel like found footage can be done right, just like in the movie VHS. But at the moment, the way I would consider the filming I'm doing right now would be kind of the mumblecore kind of philosophy of digital camera work, pocket money, making films out of your own pockets, and naturalization. I really want to put, at least for the short films, I don't want my actors to just read off of a script. I want them to go with their gut feeling. I will write the words down, but I won't write any of the expressions, because I want them to like say, well, like right now we're in the interview, I would be like, Kien is saying, hey, originality is dead, creativity is alive. And I would be thinking, I should do that in more of a serious voice. And then you, as the documenter, I could tell, I'd be like, Ryan says, do you ever wonder about the creativity? Do you ever feel down that you're not able to do that? And then you would flow naturally to how you would express the way you say it. Not the exact wording, but the way you think you would say it and how you would say it. So I'm more of a naturalized genre of filmmaking.
So you prefer just to have like natural reactions? You want the actors to act how they would in real life?
Yes, I don't want I don't want like professional actors. I want the actors that I know like that could express themselves like, there's some actors who like put too much emphasis if they're like, oh, I want the actors, say you got punched in the face and you're like, you're not going to be like, oh, it hurts so bad. You're going to just like rub it at first, and it takes a few minutes to like kick in that, you just got decked in the mouth, and then you'll be like, ah. Or like, the I think you're fat. The emphasis of the way how I would emphasize that is like, I think you're fat. I emphasize the F. That's how I would emphasize if I was to like make fun of someone, because I have such a sarcastic tone in my voice. That's how a lot of my scripts would come off if I were to write and put dialogue expressions of my own.
So, is there anything in the film industry today that you feel any sort of like disdain toward, or that you would want to see changed or anything like that, or brought back even?
The Hollywood standard is one of the things that angers me a lot. Is, again, we had this talk about big budgets. I feel like the bigger the budget in some movies, and this isn't all, but a great number of movies nowadays, they have CGI blood, they have a lot of CGI work. I kind of, as lame as it sounds, I like the old school people in suits, like mocap suits, I'm okay with that, but like the CGI blood and like CGI different things, like why would you CGI a tree? I understand that's cheaper, but I believe in the more natural look. So I wish they would tone down more of the computer generated things and go back with the more just like gallons of fake blood, real latex masks and stuff like that.
Well, that's about it. Is there anything you want to add before we go on to the next half?
Well, I just wanted to say that I hope you guys are enjoying this. I really want the people I'm interviewing, I want you guys to see that like they're trying, and I want people to understand how we're feeling about this and how we pursue our arts. So pretty much all I gotta say is, you don't have to like the music, like the films. Just know that we're out there and we're not the only ones in this digital age trying to do something.